Tell them who you are. If you're living in the movement, you wanna praise God. This is how we do it.
Top day to you, bro. Today's gonna be a good day. Good day. I finally got the axle out of underneath the truck. Today we're gonna do a cleanup on it. I got to scrape off the seal where the oil pan goes. I got to scrape that all that stuff off and clean up the oil pan and hopefully get that thing back together today. Hope. So today we're gonna put new seals, one there, one in there. I got that shoved in there because I'm gonna power wash this, get all this grease off of it. The oil pan, we're gonna clean the oil pan up. The oil pan don't look bad at all, man. Consider how many miles were on this truck. It looks really good in there. It's got a little bit of sludge in there, but I'm gonna power wash it and clean it all up real good and get underneath that truck, bro. Let me show you. So here is the problem. I gotta get that stuff off, clean up the gasket. The engine looks pretty good from the bottom side. Looks pretty good. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to clean her up, get all that goofy stuff off and go from there. So in order to get the oil pan out, you got to drop the axle out, and then you got to drop the rack and pinion loose in order to get the oil pan to maneuver around. It's hanging off of the steering knuckle. So good times, man. Good times. It's all about working on the truck, man. Get her done. So that's my joy for the day. Let's get this thing cleaned up and hopefully get this bottom end put back together today. I'm just working on cleaning it all up right now, but my gears are real nice. It took me a while because somebody used that CV whatever gasket maker. It took me a while to get it off. Got the oil pan off, cleaned it all up, and you know, the inside looks really good. I cleaned up on the inside. I cleaned up all of the debris, you know, oil debris, and this is the inside of the pan because I went around and cleaned off all the gasket material. Kind of left a little, you know, little sanding grid on it. So this will dry here in just a minute. I just real lightly hit the edges with that rust stopper because this is steel. I don't want it rusting on the inside, you know, see. So I'll hit that again because I just moved it, messed it up, but I'm just trying to prevent it from rusting from the inside. But the oil pan looks really good. It's a rust and sealer. That's all it is. Looks like flat black. It's all right. So what I'll do next is I will put the cover back on. And then I'm gonna power wash this, get all this excess grease off, debris off of here, this little filthy crap, and then put new seals. Seals are pretty easy. They just kind of pop them out and put new. This one down here, it's slightly bent. Looks like somebody didn't set it right. And when I cracked that seal, it really wasn't a lot of oil in there. So I don't know why somebody's had that out, but somebody's had this out of this truck because it's got the liquid gasket all the way around it, or had it. So I don't know why they had it apart. I don't see any damage in there or anything like that. It looks fairly good. Oh, that hurt. Anyway, just a cleanup process, man. The whole point in all this is I've spent the money, removed this axle to get to the oil pan, to put the new gasket on it. I've gone through all of this heartache. So while I've got it out, I'm not in a big hurry. So while I've got it out, let's go ahead and just clean it up, man. Make it look pretty. I'm not too worried about the oil pan. I think black's fine. I don't give a shit. But pumpkin cover, I'll probably paint it orange. But another thing about the oil pan, the reason why I went through the whole process of cleaning it up really good, get all the oils off, and paint it with that rust stopper is because on the one side it had a bunch of divots, like where somebody hit it with something, but they were rusted. So I used my little Milwaukee grinder. I love this thing. It's really cool, man. But I used it to knock off the rust, grind down a little bit, and then that's the reason why I put that rust stop sealer on there, is because that'd be horrible, man. Freaking rust a hole in the freaking oil pan. Oof, that'd be bad. Anyways, on to the next thing. Alright, so I took a lunch break, came back. I did go ahead and put the housing back on so we can do pressure washers. I'll show you what I did do. I was able to get the oil pan back in. It takes a lot of finagling. You have to take the starter off in order to get the oil pan in the right position to get it to go up. I was getting hit in the tranny lines are in the way. You just kind of have to move them over out of your way a little bit. But I'll use some degreaser on it, clean the bell housing up. But yeah, the starter, you got 2 bolts. You got one right here and one right there, and it also has the tranny lines running on it. So you have to bend that little clip up out of the way in order to get the starter to come out. I just disconnected it, slid it over out of the way, just so I could finagle it around a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely a good time, bro. So now that I've got the oil pan back in, nice and pretty. I don't really care. I just want to clean it up. And I've got the rack and pinion. You also have to take the rack and pinion out. I just disconnected the 2 bolts. You got that bolt and that one over there, and just slid it out, knocked the bolts in, slid it out, and let it hang. It's almost impossible, man, to get that freaking thing, that oil pan out. Now you remember this all stemmed from the freaking water pump, because the water pump, I had to take the timing chain cover off because I bent it all up over a water pump. So anyways, so now we'll take and clean all this up just like I did the other side and put all new back in. I gotta remount the axle. I'm gonna go ahead and do a cleaning on it first. Just a degrease, man, that's all I'm doing with it. Just degreasing it and get that bad boy, and new wheel bearing, or new bearings. Good times, man. Okay, so when you're replacing these CV axle bearings or seals, I'll show you a way of doing it. Take 2 different size screwdrivers. First one, kind of small, and we'll get between the seal and the case, and just really lightly tap on it. You want to take your time, let it walk itself around. Okay, and you want to do it equally, a little on each side. Just walk it around. All right, so when you get on the other side, leave your screwdriver there, and take your little bit bigger screwdriver and do the same thing. Just like so. Seal come right on out. We get a paper towel. Then we take a paper towel and we just kind of clean it up a little bit. Make sure you don't have any contaminants in that groove. You know, you can check your bearings while you're at it. They look really good. Just clean it up. Make sure it looks good. Okay. I think it looks pretty good. Cool. Then, to reinstall one, get one out of the bag. Just set it in place. Now I have a 38 millimeter. I need a little bit bigger, but this will work just fine. And you want it on that rim. Just set it on there and just baby tap it. Just walk around it. Just be careful with it. Don't want to beat on it too much. So once you get it in there, you want to make sure, check it all the way around it. Make sure that you're flat all the way around. And that's how you can replace a CB axle seal. So now that I got this prepped, it's all ready to go. And I got my cover painted. We're going to let it sit for, I'll probably let it sit for about an hour or two. Just to let it cure up before I reinstall it. Cool. Got to give it some color. It's in the front, man. It's not like everybody's gonna see it. But I just thought I'd splash a little color on for the heck of it. I'm not gonna do the axle, man. I'm just being goofy. Just being goofy, man.
Tell them who you are if you're living